So, dann gucken wir mal. Das ist die Zeitung, die hatten wir schon gelesen. Ich nehme sie noch mal in der Hand, aber hier ist zum Beispiel jetzt kein Hotspot. Wahrscheinlich nicht wichtig oder so. Ein Rollwagen.
A glass holder trolley that actually looked like a toilet with a pair of wheels. What the hell was my remote control doing in there?
Nehmen wir raus, die brauchen wir. Vielleicht ist es ja auch eine Toilette auf Rollrädern. Fernseher, was ist das hier? Cold is your energy boost.
The poster claimed that the cold filled you with energy. I wondered if that was true. I always preferred the sea to the mountains.
Das machen viele, ne?
With blood and sweat, I had completed that collection of action figures when I was a kid. After Green Dart, it was my biggest triumph. I hung all kinds of reminders on that pinboard, like bills to pay and anything else. But I should have also learned a method to remind me to check them. A vicious cycle. I had nothing to hang at the moment, and there was nothing interesting among the items already posted.
Ja, klar kann es schön kalt werden, aber die Luft ist so gut.
Claudio, the owner of the bar where I worked many years before, sitting at the piano was his wife. Adela tried many times to teach me to strum, but with very bad results.
Adele,
Before joining the detective bureau, I made a living working at a bar. How many friends did I make in those years? How much fun did I have?
Hattest du?
I didn't want anything from the bar. I barely drink, especially when I was working on a case. It kept the device thermostat held in position. Removing it would drop the temperature as low as it could go. But, alright, I rarely ate the junk food in my fridge anyway.
Okay, ich habe einen Magneten. Wir können ja noch ein bisschen schlafen gehen.
The last time I made up my bed, America was still at war with Great Britain. I kept Bobby, my stuffed bear, underneath. He protected me from my nightmares.
Den Teddy haben wir gesehen. Oh.
Bobby was down there for a reason. To protect me from nightmares. I'd remove it only in case of extreme need.
Ich glaube, da gibt es irgendwann einen Notfall. Am Juggernaut. Da gibt es bestimmt irgendwo einen Notfall mal. Was haben wir noch hübsches? Ein Nachttisch. Öffnen.
The cell phone was inside the nightstand, comfortably resting in the underwear drawer.
Da, wo man es auch
When I bent
hinpackt,
down
ne?
to pick it up, I found myself looking at my parents' photograph. Mom and Dad, on holidays in Greece during their honeymoon. Dad with his typical sly look, Mom with an unlikely 80s rock star hairstyle. We always used to make fun of her for that juvenile look. How long had it been since I left Italy? And them?
Das ist ja
Looking at
putzig.
that photo always left me with a sour taste in my mouth, but that wasn't the right time to get lost in memories. I had a cell phone to retrieve and an investigation to continue. The night before, I'd even been able to deactivate that paid weather service. I could finally use the phone to do what it was designed for, making phone calls.
Ach, deswegen konnte man nicht telefonieren, wegen dem Wetterdienst.
It represented the Sacred Heart of Jesus, a Christian symbol of worship. My grandma insisted that I take it with me to America for protection, but to be honest, I always found it, slightly gruesome.
Verständlich. Okay, wir haben die Fernbedienung, wir gucken mal Fernsehen. Steht bestimmt auf der To-Do, ne? Ich brauche mehr Infos und die Morgennachrichten sollten in Kürze ausgestrahlt werden. Ich glaube, die werden jetzt genau ausgestrahlt.
The TV didn't turn on.
Oh.
The batteries were probably dead, and the closest retailer was half an hour away by foot. Damn batteries. There must be some way to give you even a little boost. The universal remote control for my original pony. The best of the worst. Better think about it. I'd wait for the right moment to enjoy one of my last cigarettes. After the whirlwind conclusion of the blood, I left
Das
just
sind
two.
die. Da wollte ich gar nicht hin. Warte mal.
Better think about it.
Wir könnten ja.
I read somewhere once that a dead battery could regain a small amount of energy in an extremely cold environment.
Ja, weil die Atome nämlich runtergekühlt werden.
Can
Dadurch.
it be true? This story of batteries recharging in the cold? Hey, maybe that's what igloos are. Huge batteries shaped like houses. Oh, that would explain why Eskimos wear gloves, to prevent electric shocks.
Okay, ja, kann man machen. Nein,
It
aber
was time to discover if my limited physics knowledge would help me or not.
Ja, aber es ist ja wirklich so. Durch das Herunterkühlen werden die Atome schwingen weniger und dadurch können die Ladungsträger, die Elektronen, die freien, die halt durch das Material, also durch Batterie oder eben halt durch den Leiter durchfließen, ungehinderter fließen. Und dadurch ist der Widerstand geringer und dann hat man noch mit der Restenergie mehr Chance, dass was passiert. So coole Sache, Physik. So, jetzt aber.
Of famous tycoon Eric Mulzberg, where an attempted break-in was reported last night. No statement has been released either from the police or the family, so the specifics of the offense are still shrouded in mystery. The only detail that has been leaked so far is some strange graffiti drawn on the front of the mansion, probably left by the same individual or group that attempted the late-night illegal entry. As you can see behind me, the symbol appears to have been applied using an enormous quantity of blood, perhaps of a human nature. We await confirmation on the origin of the liquid, with hopes that it isn't the blood of young Kathrin Mulzberg. Stay tuned to this network for further developments. From Gwendolyn Pratt, back to you in the newsroom.
Da unten ist die Schüssel abgestürzt.
That symbol on the wall. I saw it even before that swine of a hack opened her mouth. It was identical to the seal on the letter I'd just received. I had no doubt anymore. Blowtorch was pulling out all the stops to finish our challenge in style. I toyed with the idea of contacting Burton to bring him up to speed on the situation, but I scrapped that thought. If I could close the case myself, my superiors would be forced to reinstate me into the department. Was it really worth the risk of falling straight into a trap? Who was I kidding? I was never the kind of man to back down from a challenge, no matter how dangerous it may be. It was high time to let the world see what I was worth. I wouldn't be remembered as the detective that let one of the worst serial killers in the history of Miami slip away.
Na, jetzt bin ich ja gespannt hier. Nichts hier. Ja, du sollst ja auch nicht hypertief kühlen und einfrosten. Du sollst ja nur runterkühlen. So, das heißt, wir hauen ab, wa? Wir lösen jetzt den Fall. Ach so, vielleicht sollte ich mal... Hier unten sind Zahlen.
Those numbers had to mean something.
52, 17, 90, 11, 15, 72.
Plover Alley had to be a secondary lane along the larger Plover Avenue in the West Miami neighborhood.
Okay, das heißt, wir können...
The wax seal was recognizable in its simplicity. Just a vermilion circle.
Ja, dann hauen wir mal ab. Mal gucken, wie es ist hier.
The thing to do next was retrieve Green Dart, just in case I needed to race off in pursuit of Ramos. My beloved bike had been left at the HPD the night before. To recover it, a long walk awaited me. Hey Richie, how's it going?
Hello, Lazarus.
Richard, we've been neighbors for 5 years now. What do you think about finally calling me Lars?
I like the sound of Lazarus.
There's something magnetic about it, don't you think?
Speaking of magnetism, do you still have that magnet I loaned you?
Yeah, well, you know, it's complicated.
What do you mean by complicated? You didn't lose it, did you?
No, not lost, no. I used it in a secret mission.
My magnet. In a secret mission.
Very, very secret. So secret I can't tell you anything about it.
Well, do me a favor and get it back to me as soon as possible. It's a fond family memory.
And that's what it would remain for poor Richard. A memory.
Ist das gemein.
Any good news in the mailbox?
Once you could find love letters inside. Now it's just bills and a mountain of advertising. Do you even read the advertisements they send you?
No, I just use it to ignite the coal at the barbecues with my colleagues. See you soon, Richie.
Sure, at next Sunday's residents meeting. You'll come, right?
I have a previously scheduled engagement.
Sorry, did I say Sunday? I meant Saturday.
Even worse, I have to attend a funeral.
Oh, too bad. Then my condolences.
The only one who'd die would be me if I went to another one of those stupid meetings of boredom. I was sure I would find only bills and late payment warnings. Sometimes it's better not to know, so I didn't open it.
Ach komm, schau rein.
Despite having customized it and made it ridiculously cool, it was still a wretched carrier of bad news. The Parmesan had been dangling from the ceiling for years, and by now, it had reached a very strong seasoning. I used to prepare a trap for a rat that was haunting the attic. I almost managed to grab it when the floor decided to collapse underneath my feet. And what's worse, I disastrously landed on the floor beneath, causing that huge hole. Moral of the story? The Parmesan was still hanging from those wires, and I had started to hate rats. For months, I kept asking and asking Miss Joyce to repair that hole. Sooner or later, I would fall through it again.
Das ist interessant hier bei dem Loch, dass es nicht repariert. Oh. Die Farben. Oh. Achso, wir haben Hauptbilder. Wir müssen erstmal zum HPD-Hauptquartier, logischerweise. Ah, ist echt grell. Boah. Muss ich die Sonnenbrille rausholen hier.
I found a very bad surprise waiting for me outside the office. Those idiots in the department had pierced a tire of my beloved green Dart. Furthermore, the bike was locked to the streetlight with its chain. We, though, probably had the keys, but for the tire, I would have to come up with something. One thing was for sure, I wouldn't leave the HPD without my green Dart.
Aber warum haben die... Ist das Green Dart hier Eigentum vom HPD oder was? Ja, Starkstrom rauf, ne? Volle Pulle mit dem Starkstrom. Was ist das hier? Poster.
Bullets in Love, the box office smash hit movie of the recent months. The classic predictable thriller where at the end the killer turns out to be, spoiler alert, the main character. I had a vision of me uprooting the hydrant with my bare hands and then crooning, "I'm singing in the rain," under the water pressure jet. I don't know why, but I've always had a penchant for musicals.
Was ist das hier für ein Auto?
A fiery red sports car. I prefer two-wheeled vehicles by far, but that one just had a certain something. It provided access to the city sewers. Many tourists love visiting sewers. I'll never understand why.
Warum? Wer reist in eine Stadt, um die Kanäle unten zu sehen?
I needed Green Dart to move, but fixing it with my bare hands seemed impossible. I needed something to plug the breach.
Haben wir irgendwas, um das Loch zu stopfen? Die Magneten vielleicht. Wir können es ja erhitzen hier.
I thought it was better to look for another solution.
Was ist mit George? Baphomets Flug George oder was? So, hier haben wir nichts weiter. Warte mal, ein Marker.
It was a permanent marker. One of those that will never fade, even with acid. Hey, Wheelo, do you mind if I borrow this marker for a while?
What do you have to do?
I don't know why precisely. I might need it eventually.
I, on the contrary, may need it for work, so the answer is no.
Hey, Wheelo.
Oh, it's just you.
Who else would it be?
A government inspector, maybe? They're everywhere these days.
We are the HPD, the last place a government inspector would check.
We work for justice, so we're all clean and spotless.
Stimmt.
Is that what you think?
Actually, if we're talking about being clean, that doesn't really apply anymore. Listen, it's you who has the keys to Green Dart, right?
Yes, the chief inspector entrusted their custody to me. Can you show me an identification document?
Bitte was?
If you don't give me the keys to my Green Dart right now...
I'll make an exception to the rule.
Hey, where did the second key come from? That's not mine.
The keys were delivered to me as you see them. But if you want to fill out a complaint form...
I'll keep them this way. What the hell happened to my Green Dart?
The vehicle has a puncture on the front tire. Not only that, it's chained to a lamppost.
Do you have any idea who perpetrated this offense?
I don't have all the necessary evidence to make an assessment. Do you want to press charges?
Ja.
It'd be a waste of time.
Nein.
Instead,
Doch.
do you know where there's a bike shop around here so I can buy a new tire?
There's one 5 blocks away from here, along the promenade.
It took me 2 hours just to get here from my house. I can't afford to lose the whole day. I'll manage some other way. Have you got any spare chewing gum?
It depends. Who's asking?
The President of the United States.
Very funny. I might have some more. Yes.
Well, perfect. That's exactly what I need.
Don't get any ideas. I'm done giving you things for free.
Come on. Stop talking nonsense and give me some gum.
Okay. Bring me the latest edition of Play Guy and maybe we can talk about it.
Play Guy.
I'm alone all day down here. I have to find some way to pass the time.
Looks like I might have to spend the day running errands for this paranoid. On the other side of the street is a newsstand. I better hurry up if I don't want to waste too much time.
Okay, wir müssen rüber. Irgendwie da. Also Szenenwechsel kann man...
If I ever had the need for those tools, I would know where to look. Putting it in my pocket was out of the question. I'd have sullied my amazing coat. If needed, I could have used it on the spot. Hello.
How can I help you?
You're doing a really great job.
You can say that again, my friend. Nobody does grout work like this these days. Listen to old Tom. That's not just a wall, it is art.
If he could, that man would have exhibited his stuccoed wall in the Louvre of Paris, near the Mona Lisa. Is that magazine on the wall yours?
Of course it's mine. What a question.
Well, this is a very difficult situation to explain. In short, I urgently need that magazine.
I understood full well what kind of urgency we're talking about. But unfortunately, I have an urgency even greater than yours. Look at those soft curves, those gentle shades.
Please, let's not get into any details.
What are you suggesting? My urgency is art. I need that magazine as inspiration for my walls. So I can't give it to you. Go to the newsstand and buy a copy like everyone else.
Well, I tried to ask him politely. Now I'd have to graduate to cunningly stealing.
Was ist das hier?
Ramos was everywhere, constantly reminding me of the thrashing I suffered. The fountain wasn't especially elaborate, and to tell the truth, it also seemed out of place. It emitted a hypnotic water jet, though, neither too violent nor too calm.
Das Krasse ist ja, es sieht so aus, als ob wirklich 15 Leute mit unterschiedlichen Grafik- und Malstilen das gemalt haben.
With his mother distracted, stealing the balloon and lollipop from the kid would be child's play. How low I've sunk. Good morning, Didier.
Bonjour, détective.
You're still practicing your French, I see.
Je suis really French, détective. How many times do I have to tell you?
Come on, cut the act. Just give me a copy of Play Guy, please.
Do you plan to pay this time?
Pay? You're particularly funny today, Didier.
I cannot extend you any more credit, detective. Your account has so many zeros that I struggle to read the total.
I refuse to pay even 1 penny to do Willow a favor.
On the other hand, Inspector Burton has left something paid for you.
Seamus is really funny. Was it my fault that Ramos was a mountain of a man?
That is all for now. See you soon, detective.
By the way, your fake pronunciation sucks.
Haben wir jetzt das Ding bekommen? Pass auf, das tauschen wir aus hier. Magazin für Erwachsene gegen ein anderes Magazin.
I would rapidly switch the covers so that the Mason wouldn't notice the disappearance of his magazine.
Haben wir das Innenleben ausgetauscht. Okay, so, dann haben wir das. So, mein lieber Freund, ich will einen Kaugummi. Gib mal her hier.
Here you are, you filthy pervert.
But these were not the kinds of pecs I really wanted to see.
Take the cover off, you idiot.
Oh, now I get it.
Don't get smart. Now, I want the chewing gum we agreed on.
Help yourself, but make sure you're not seen. It could look like attempted bribery.
The chewing gum was exactly what I needed to fix the bike.
Du musst da Luft aufpumpen, ne?
I prayed it didn't stick to my gloves or I'd have to spend half a day cleaning them. The chain remained the last obstacle to freedom, but fortunately, I had the keys with me.
Was mit der Luft? Notdürftig gefilmt. Was du? Och nö.
What clumsy hands!
I had... I think I felt a twinge in my hand.
And you scored. What a shot!
Which physical law of the universe causes keys to inevitably fall inside the only manhole nearby? Opening the grate with bare hands was impossible. Besides, inside it seemed empty, so I imagined there must be a long drop beneath it. I saw no alternative. To recover the key, I would need to penetrate the sewers.
Okay,
This
wir
would
machen
take
einen
time.
George.
I had already wasted too much. By then, the sun was almost setting. I decided to head out immediately, hoping not to miss the appointment.
Na
When I
toll.
reached the place, the sun had already set. An old, desolate alley in West Miami. I didn't know what to expect yet. I had to move cautiously.
Ist der tot hier, oder?
It seemed like a vending machine for chewing gum, but actually it contained soft marshmallows.
Oh, mein Tag war okay heute. Sehr anstrengend. Heute war ein bisschen windig mit dem Fahrradfahren. Also morgen geht's wieder mit dem Fahrrad los. Also ich bin jetzt ja schon, oh Gott, den 5. Tag, dann morgen den 5. Tag in Folge mit dem Rad zur Arbeit. Das sind ja schon, oh Gott, jetzt muss ich mal rechnen, 2, das sind 10, mit dem Stadtverkehr wahrscheinlich irgendwie 15 Liter Sprit, die nicht benutzt worden sind. So, da können wir nichts weitermachen. Oh,
Damn cat. A TV and bits and pieces. Boxes, empty bottles of detergent, junk.
ist zumindest eine Alternative. Heute war ich auch nur noch knapp 8 Minuten langsamer als im Mittel mit dem Auto. Also es ist schon eine Alternative. Man muss sich halt bloß ungeachtet dessen jeden Morgen doch ein bisschen durch oder aufrappen, ne? Und sich dann ein bisschen in Schwung bringen, sich dann kurz nach dem Aufstehen auch noch aufs Rad zu schwingen und dann erstmal 30 plus Minuten mit dem Fahrrad zu fahren. Quer durch die Stadt. Ich guck mir den mal hier an.
It was clearly blind drunk, or worse. Hey, are you okay? No answer. Not even a twitch or perceptible movement. Then I realized how things really were. The
Na
man
toll.
wasn't breathing. What the?
Lazarus, Bundy. Forgive this production, but I can't be with you in person for reasons beyond my control. The young Mulzberg's kidnapping is just the first piece of a complex puzzle, a plan which, if not stopped, threatens to drag all of us to our doom. I leave the responsibility in your hands, Detective. Kathrin Mulzberg must be found, and her kidnappers brought to justice. Look for my symbol.
Aha.
I forced myself to interpret all this like a very bad joke. I failed. I started with the conviction to end my challenge with Ramos, and yet I found myself receiving a brand new one. The tone of that man suggested only determination, not a single trace of mockery, nor even a perceptible tremble. That guy really believed what he said. I immediately realized that he wasn't a mythomaniac. Racking my brain would have been useless, so I decided to go back home and sleep on it. Maybe the night would bring much-needed insight, and the next day I'd know what to do.
November, Lars Wohnung.
As was happening more and more often, I hadn't slept much, and I almost had the feeling I dreamed everything. Had I really received a bloody challenge from a lunatic with a mask? I needed confirmation, and the HPD office seemed the best place to look for it. Today's Miami Harbinger. Who knows if it might suggest something interesting.
Okay.